There are 160 million of them.
People?
Not every sci-fi movie that hits your screen is worth 2 hours of your life, but these ones absolutely are. From mind-twisting space mysteries to low-budget gems with big ideas, these are the films people stumble onto and instantly wonder, how did I miss this? They're bold, imaginative, and way smarter than most blockbuster sci-fi.
Something's up there now. Is something talking?
The kind of stories that stick with you days after. So if you're craving something fresh, underrated, and a little off the beaten path, you're in the right place. Here are 10 insanely good sci-fi movies you probably haven't watched, but definitely should. Number 10, Slingshot, Paramount Plus.
The best escape route tends to be towards a light.
Slingshot is the kind of slow-burn sci-fi thriller that sneaks up on you. Set aboard a deep space mission to Titan, it follows a small crew who rotate through long stretches of hibernation, waking every few months to check systems, talk to Earth, and pretend everything is fine. Except it isn't. What starts as routine maintenance turns into a claustrophobic unraveling as paranoia, hallucinations, and fraying trust turn the Odyssey one into a pressure cooker. Casey Affleck anchors the film with a quiet, unraveling intensity, while Lawrence Fishburne brings the grounded authority you expect from him. Slingshot isn't about big action or flashy effects. It's about the terrifying idea that isolation can warp reality, and that sometimes the biggest threat on a mission isn't space, it's your own mind. Number 9, Dark Star, Prime Video. Before John Carpenter made Halloween, or Dan O'Bannon wrote Alien, they teamed up for something far weirder, Dark Star, a micro-budget sci-fi comedy that feels like a space odyssey filtered through a college dorm at 3 a.m. The film follows a bored, half-broken crew drifting through deep space on a decades-long mission to blow up unstable planets. Their ship barely works, their sanity's slipping, and their biggest threat might be a mischievous alien that looks suspiciously like a beach ball. What makes Dark Star a hidden gem isn't polish, it's charm. You can feel the handmade creativity in every cheap effect, every deadpan joke, every oddball moment. It's strange, scrappy, and surprisingly influential. If you love cult sci-fi with personality, this one's essential. Number 8, The Blackout, Prime Video.
Contact with command is lost, and we're everybody's last hope.
The Blackout is one of those sci-fi thrillers that feels like it dropped in from an alternate universe, bigger, stranger, and far more ambitious than you expect. The setup is brutal. Almost the entire planet goes silent overnight, leaving only a small region around Moscow untouched. No signals, no survivors, no explanation. What follows is a mix of military sci-fi, alien invasion mystery, and apocalyptic chaos as soldiers, civilians, and psychic survivors try to understand what wiped out the rest of humanity. The film leans heavy on atmosphere, fog-soaked streets, eerie silence, and sudden bursts of violence that make the world feel truly hostile. It's messy, wild, and unapologetically huge in scale. If you like sci-fi that swings for the fences, The Blackout is an underrated ride. Number 7, Prospect, Hulu. Prospect is what happens when indie filmmaking meets old-school, tactile sci-fi, a small story set in a dirty, dangerous world that feels completely lived in. The film follows C and her father as they land on a toxic forest moon to mine rare gems, only to find themselves caught between rival prospectors, mercenaries, and the brutal reality of surviving off-world. There are no flashy effects or giant space battles here. Instead, Prospect thrives on atmosphere. Fog-choked forests, scratched-up helmets, malfunctioning gear, and a planet that feels hostile with every breath. Pedro Pascal delivers one of his best early performances, balancing danger and charm, while Sophie Thatcher carries the emotional core. If you love grounded, character-driven sci-fi that feels handcrafted, this one's a must-watch. Number 6, Archive, Prime Video.
Have to try and get her back.
I am shutting you down immediately.
What do they want?
Archive is one of those quiet, underrated sci-fi films that sneaks up on you. A slow-burning, emotional story wrapped inside a sleek, futuristic shell. Set in 2038, it follows George, a lonely engineer living in an isolated research facility, secretly building advanced robots as part of a desperate attempt to bring his wife back from the dead. The tech feels tactile, the snow-covered setting feels isolating, and Theo James gives one of his most grounded performances. But what really elevates Archive is its twist, a reveal that reframes everything you've been watching and lands with a gut punch. It's melancholic, immersive, and beautifully crafted, blending themes of grief, memory, and the limits of artificial intelligence. If you like thoughtful sci-fi with emotional weight, this one delivers. Number 5. Europa Report, Hulu.
Compared to the breadth of knowledge yet to be known, what does your life actually matter?
Europa Report is one of the rare sci-fi films that commits fully to realism, and that's exactly what makes it so gripping. Presented as a found-footage mission log, it follows the crew of Europa 1 on a privately funded expedition to Jupiter's icy moon. When a solar storm cuts off communication with Earth, the astronauts push forward anyway, documenting every discovery, malfunction, and sacrifice with cold, clinical precision. The film's tension doesn't come from jump scares, but from the terrifying plausibility of deep space exploration, limited resources, isolation, and the unknown waiting beneath Europa's frozen ocean. The final reveal is both haunting and awe-inspiring, rewarding the slow burn buildup. If you love hard science fiction grounded in real astrophysics, this one hits the sweet spot. Number 4. Freaks, Tubi.
Any freaks who are running loose are illegal.
Freaks is one of those low-budget sci-fi thrillers that hits way harder than you expect. The movie starts small, just a young girl living in a boarded-up house with her paranoid father, but every scene widens the world, peeling back layers of mystery until you realize you're watching something far bigger than a family drama. What begins as a tense, claustrophobic character piece slowly transforms into a full-blown superpowered conspiracy with government agents, hidden abilities, and a society terrified of people like Chloe. Lexi Kolker delivers an unreal performance for her age, carrying the film with raw emotion and intensity, and Bruce Dern adds that perfect off-kilter energy. Freaks blends sci-fi, suspense, and family tragedy into a tight, unpredictable ride you'll be thinking about long after it ends. Number 3. The Vast of Night, Prime Video.
And they don't stay for long.
The Vast of Night is one of the most unique sci-fi mysteries of the past decade, a slow, hypnotic story that builds tension through sound, atmosphere, and old-school radio drama energy. Set in 1950s New Mexico, it follows a switchboard operator and a teenage radio DJ who pick up a strange audio signal during a quiet small-town night. What starts as a simple curiosity turns into a gripping, almost eerie investigation as callers come forward with stories the government never wanted them to share. The film leans heavily on long takes, whisper-soft suspense, and incredible performances from its young leads. It feels like a lost Twilight Zone episode, told with modern filmmaking confidence. If you love UFO mysteries that focus on tension instead of spectacle, this one is essential. Number 2. Dark City, Prime Video. Dark City is one of the most inventive and atmospheric sci-fi films of the 90s, a noir nightmare wrapped in cosmic mystery. The story follows John Murdoch, a man who wakes in a bathtub with no memories, a dead body nearby, and a group of pale, trench-coated figures hunting him through a city where it is always night. As he tries to piece together who he is, Murdoch discovers the truth. The city isn't real. The people aren't who they think they are, and reality itself is being rewritten at midnight by a race known as the Strangers. It's a moody, hypnotic blend of noir, horror, and philosophical sci-fi, filled with twisting alleyways, shifting buildings, and a sense of dread that never lets go. Over time, it's become a cult classic, and for good reason. If you like cerebral, reality-bending sci-fi, this is essential viewing. Number 1. The Man from Earth, Prime Video.
Okay.
Perhaps it's time to die.
The Man from Earth is one of the most fascinating sci-fi films ever made, not because of special effects or action, but because of one impossible question. What if a man lived for 14,000 years and never aged? The entire movie takes place in a single room, where a professor named John Oldman reveals to his closest colleagues that he has been alive since the Paleolithic era. What follows is 90 minutes of pure, gripping dialogue, debates about history, religion, memory, and what it would truly mean to outlive every person you've ever cared about. It's intimate, philosophical, and quietly mind-blowing. No explosions, no aliens. Just a story so well written that you can't look away. If you want a sci-fi film that gets under your skin and stays in your head for days, this is the one. And that's the list. 10 underrated, imaginative, and seriously overlooked sci-fi films that deserve way more attention.
You better get away from my house.
Each one brings something different to the genre. Quiet character pieces, mind-bending mysteries, grounded space exploration, and those slow burn stories that hit way harder than their budget suggest.
Everything outside of this circle is in complete darkness as of now.
Whether you're into cosmic dread, philosophical debates, or indie sci-fi that punches above its weight, there's at least one movie here that'll grab you and refuse to let go. Which one are you watching first? Drop it in the comments. I always check. And if you want more hidden gems, sci-fi countdowns, and movie recommendations you won't find anywhere else, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. See you in the next one.